Good morning, BookTube. Today I'm here to do the BookTube Newbie Tag. I know we've all seen iterations of this many times, and now it's finally my turn, so I'm just going to get right to the questions. Number 1, why did you start this channel? I started it because I've been participating marginally in BookTube for many years through the comment section. A lot of times I would never say anything. I would just lurk and watch and appreciate. And as the years are going by, I have things I want to say in response to some of these other videos, and I also want to do the tags, and I also want to get in on what everyone's reading, and so I just feel like being more of a participant, and I thought this is the best way for me to go ahead and do that. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, I don't know. I just hope that I'm bringing my experience, my reading history, my life history, and some of the things I've learned along the way through life that I can add to videos. As I said before, I want to be more in conversation with other BookTube videos and BookTubers and the bookish world at large. What I read in magazines and in blogs and online, I want to respond to. So we're all part of this big kind of universe, I guess. It's all interconnected, and I want to have a little voice in that. What are you most excited about in regards to this channel? I am excited about learning a new technical skill. I know Illustrator, I know InDesign, I design books, and so I want to bring some of that knowledge of those other softwares into a new software, and I think this is such an act of creation, of being able to speak in front of a camera, get that footage downloaded where it needs to go, and then bring it into some kind of editing system and make something out of it. So it's an act of creation, and I'm excited about it. Number 4, why do you love reading? I love reading, probably like all of you love reading, because it shows you worlds you can't imagine. It brings you into the minds of authors who are brilliant, and they construct these incredible, intricate worlds for us to live in for a short period of time. And so I love that interaction with the text. I like bringing my own experiences to that text and being able to create something new between the two of us, even though the author will never know it. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? I'm not sure if one book could get someone into reading, but I do remember in the 4th grade reading A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett and just falling in love with Sarah Crew, being so scared about what's going to happen when her father dies and their fortune is lost, and she has to become a maid, and she has to live in the attic, and she has a very mean headmistress who is constantly humiliating her, and some of the girls rally to her and some of the girls don't. I just love that story, and being right at the right age for it. We'd be staying with my grandparents or visiting my grandparents, and right across the street from where they lived in a mountain town was the library, and we could go over there by ourselves anytime, and I would just check that book out over and over again. I mean, of course I was reading other things along the way too, but that book really stuck with me, and so I'll give it credit for making me love reading. What question would you ask your favorite booktubers? I guess the question I ask the most is, how do you do it? How do you keep coming up with new content? How do you do it year after year? And because I'd like to be able to have a longevity too, although I'm just starting, so it seems like I'm jumping the gun a bit, but that's what I'd ask. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be most difficult to overcome? Just coming up with ideas, sticking to it, maybe being able to sketch out different, not a script because I don't want to be scripted, but come up with different ideas. And I do have a few, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 books of all time for the BookTube survey, and so I'm very excited about that. I've been jotting down ideas and then scratching them out and wondering how I'm going to order them, and so I will be participating in things like that. Number 8, when did you start to read? I think I was 5. Number 9, where do you read? I read anywhere, and that means in the grocery store line. If it's too long, I will get my Kindle app out. If I'm waiting in the car for something, I will get a book out, or I will read on my phone. I read in the living room. I love reading at the kitchen table. I read in bed at night right before I go to sleep. So there's not a place I will not read. And number 10, what kinds of books do you like to read? I like to read literary fiction, number 1. I like some mysteries. I don't really like science fiction, but science fiction adjacent I will read and like. I like nonfiction. I like history. I'm very interested in historical figures, and I love memoir. And my kind of secret shame about this whole thing is I love celebrity memoir. So if it's well written, if it's not written by a ghostwriter, if it's written by the actual subject, and it's heartfelt, and they're smart and they're good writers, I love that. I love it when we get to open up and see people inside their heads instead of just as they perform. So I'm reading Sally Field right now, and it's hitting all the right notes for me. And that's it. We're done. I guess you'll see me in the next video, and thanks for all the encouragement on the first video, and I will see you all soon. Bye.